So today's episode, I want to be very short. Like we're talking 5 to 10 minutes max podcast today, but I want to talk to those that are afraid to invest. Those that are on the sideline, afraid to actually get started for whatever particular reason. And there's a lot of reasons, but typically it comes down to one main thing. There's a lack of education, therefore there's a fear because you just don't know what you don't know. And those individuals are so hard to talk to. My wife and I were on a walk the other day, and we were talking about the duty that we feel we have to educate and help people. And it's so hard to get across to the right people because oftentimes the people that don't need the help ask for the help, and the people that need the help the most don't think they need help. And it's such a weird situation to be in, but it's also so common, especially in the online finance space. And the more I work with individuals, the more I recognize this phenomenon. And I'm trying to get across to everybody out there that's sitting on the sideline worried. They're afraid to pay a professional. They're afraid to be working with somebody. And what I'm going to tell you right now is what you need to hear, just the God honest truth. Pay the professional. Get over the fear of paying somebody, because here's the thing. I'm going to explain this in the easiest way possible. If you know nothing about finance and you're paying somebody, even if they are the worst financial professional in the world, we're talking like the Primericas of the world, the Edward Jones of the world, maybe stay away from those guys. But if you are with those individuals, they're probably going to do a better job for you than you're doing for yourself right now. And it's going to save you tons of money. Now, I am not promoting any of those individuals. In fact, I would say stay away from those individuals. But it is a better alternative. It is so much better of an alternative than what you're probably doing right now, which is nothing. And because those that do nothing, I'm telling you right now, the expense that is on you, or let's call it the opportunity cost lost in your situation, is sickening. And I kind of explain this in different various pieces of content in different ways, but I don't think it connects to some people. The people that this is what's crazy. The people that actually need this information, when I speak through this stuff and explain, hey, if you wait 5 years, it's going to cost you $2 million and all these types of things, I don't think the people that need to hear that the most actually hear that. It goes in like one ear and out the other, and it's really, really concerning, to be honest. But most of the time, the reason you don't work with a professional and you think that you're going to figure this out yourself through Google and YouTube and all this kind of stuff is because you're skeptical. You're afraid that you're going to trust another individual, you're going to pay this individual, and you don't know what's going to happen. That's why you're scared. Let's just call it out, okay? So how do you get over that fear? It's education, which is why Budgetdog Academy is such a thing, which is why I have everyone educate themselves when they ask me the first question, what stock do I pick? And this question came up the other day. I was like, Aaron, what is it that people like? It drives me crazy online. People come to me and they're like, what stock do I pick? And I'm like, dude, there's no answer. Like, I wish there was an answer. There's no answer. If there was an answer, I'd give you it. But unfortunately, there's no answer. And I'm not trying to like lure you in my cave to make you pay me money at all. Like, I don't care if you pay me $1 or not. I'm just trying to help educate. But the reality is answering that question is impossible because there is no actual answer to it. There's such a long, complicated formula to get your specific answer, which is going to be different than the next person that asked me. And so I'm trying to teach you how to basically learn the long, complicated formula so you're at an actual advantage, right? And so people come to me, the people that need it the most, and they'll ask me those types of questions. They'll say, what stock do I pick? All these different types of questions, like where should I put this money? Like I have $100,000 in cash. I'm like, you know how like open-ended that is and how much like work we have to do to actually get an answer? And like, I would be the first to help you, but it takes a long process. And a DM, I had somebody the other day, like I'm not even kidding. Somebody came to my DMs and said, hey, I'm getting $1.5 million. Where should I put it? I go, you just came and used Instagram to ask me that question. Do you know like the death, like how bad your outcome could potentially be? What if I was like a scammer, number one? What if I was just an uneducated finance page, like many of them out there are? No shots fired, just the truth, like not actual financial professionals. Like what if you came across the wrong person that gave you an answer, a short answer that you wanted because you're the one that needs it the most, but you don't understand the financial professional that says it depends is coming with a good, coming from a good place. That would screw you in many different ways. And so I was talking to Aaron on this walk. I was like, how do I get through? Like, this is what this podcast is about. This is why I'm so frustrated about this. We were on this long walk. I was like, how do I actually get through to this individual? Like, the person I'm talking to is the person that needs it the most. They don't think they need it, and they're skeptical because I don't give them a direct answer. And she's like, I don't know. And I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, I don't really know either, honestly, besides the fact that what I always do is saying the cost of doing the wrong thing is going to be so substantial. And when you finally have that aha moment down the road, it's going to be a scary reality for those that are listening that don't know what to do right now. Those that are scared and fearful of the economy, they're not investing, like all these types of things that you ask me all the time, like should I invest right now? Is this a good time to invest? If you're asking these questions, like you scream novice, like respectfully. And I'm saying this with a good place, but like you need the support of a financial professional. And it gets me heated because those individuals that need it the most are so skeptical on the sideline. And it's just like, it's so alarming because the questions that are being asked, like what stock do I pick? Should I be investing right now? Where should I be putting all this money? That is going to cost you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars if you get that wrong and you do it the wrong way. Or you get some, person online telling you Apple stock, or they actually give you a legitimate answer, a short answer like that you want to hear. So like, where do I put $100,000? Oh, throw it in your brokerage account, or $100,000, pay off your debt, or do this or do that. If they're telling you answers and they're not sitting down one-on-one with you and have a long-winded discussion, asking you numerous questions, pulling your other financials that you currently have, and really detailing out your situation, you are at a major disadvantage, and it's going to cost you so much money. And so again, there's not a whole lot to this podcast besides if you're listening and you're that individual, you need to work with a financial professional as soon as humanly possible. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to continue to be skeptical of everybody out there because everybody's here to take your pockets and take your money. And it's going to be ultimately hurting your pockets in the biggest way. And like I said earlier, like I don't ever promote Primerica or like a Edward Jones or anybody like that. But I can almost guarantee the individual I'm speaking to specifically right now, that individual that's asking me these questions, if you've ever been guilty of asking these questions or you're just sitting there clueless about this, which is totally fine, but just be honest with yourself. If you're that individual, like call Edward Jones and just be at least start the process. Because once you start to get into that world, you start to learn and ask questions, you'll start to understand what I'm talking about at a greater level. But there are so many people right now hurting in so many different ways, and they'll come to my DMs, and I see it every day because I have 500,000 plus followers across social media, and I see it literally, like the volume's crazy. And I don't know how else to say, but like to tell them you need Budgetdog Academy, you need to enroll in my academy like right now without seeming salesy, because that's not my intention at all. It's like to help you guys and educate you guys and follow my free content. But if you're asking those questions, like you need it so bad. And I don't know how else to put this, and this is really, really blunt, but that's what this podcast is about today. It's to wake somebody up. So I hope somebody's listening to this. Like some of you guys are like, I got this. You probably already clicked off this podcast. This is very blunt. This podcast is going to be a lot different style than you're typically used to hearing. It's real, raw, and authentic. And so you're going to get my real thoughts. And the thing is, if you're listening to this and you're that person, reach out to me ASAP or click the show notes below to apply for Budgetdog Academy because you need it. That's end rant, end podcast. Let's talk to you guys next Monday.
You've been listening to Money on My Mind with your host, Brendan Schlagbaum. If you found value in today's discussion, share it with someone who could benefit from it too. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already, so you never miss a money mastery tip. Until next time, stay passionate about your financial journey and keep taking bold steps towards your money goals.